Today, I want to talk to you about a very dangerous place to be. A place that is going to affect every aspect of your health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, your emotional health. And this place is very, very difficult to get out of, and it holds you back in every area of your life. Next week, I want to talk to you about an exercise that I did to get me out of this place, an exercise that improved every area of my life, my finances, my relationships, life in general. And that place that you possibly are right now that is so harmful is your comfort zone. Yes, it feels safe and secure. It feels comfortable, hence the name, but it's holding you back. It's like sitting in a pool of stagnant water. Yeah, it's peaceful, it's serene, but it stinks. It's full of all kinds of unhealthy things, and it's holding you back. The ironic thing is, we work very hard to get into a comfort zone. We set up our finances, we arrange our life so that everything is running smoothly. But when that happens, we lose our incentive to grow, to improve. And that's why it is so dangerous to stay there. As human beings, and Stephen Covey talks about this in his book, The Eighth Habit, we have a need to learn, a need to grow, a need to improve, a need to experience new things. And when we sit in our comfort zone, none of that happens. When we don't have a purpose, a reason to grow, to expand, to try new things, it actually harms our physical health. People who have a reason, a purpose, a goal that they're working towards actually experience better physical health. Their cholesterol levels are better. Their healthy cholesterol is higher. Their unhealthy cholesterol is lower. Blood pressure is lower. You have a smaller chance of developing Alzheimer's disease, and people with a purpose actually live longer. It's scientifically proven by research. We start learning and growing almost from the moment we're born. We learn to communicate our needs to our parents that we're wet, that we need a diaper change, that we're hungry, that we're ready to get up from our nap. We learn how to crawl, how to walk, how to talk, how to better communicate, and then we go on to learn how to read and write. And the fact is, none of that is comfortable. All of learning requires some kind of failure along the way, something that we stumble at, some obstacle that we reach that's hard to get by. But as children, we don't worry about that. I remember reading about a group of children learning yoga poses. And as they were trying these poses, they were stumbling, they were tripping, they were falling over, and they were laughing. Now, watch an adult try to do the same thing. They become embarrassed. They check to see if anybody's looking. Somewhere along the line, the fact that we don't get instant success at something means we stop trying at all. Research has shown recently that the idea that you can't teach an old dog a new trick is false. We have the ability as humans to continue to learn, to grow, to improve throughout our entire lifespan. And if you think about it, there's many stories of people who became successful or more successful the older they got in life. I think of my own grandmother who started painting in her probably late 50s, early 60s. My mom says she can't recall seeing grandma paint when she was younger. She actually had a painting commissioned by royalty later in life. She must have been in her 70s or early 80s at that time. Grandma Moses, if I remember the story correctly, began painting in her 80s and continued to paint well into her late 90s. Colonel Harlan Sanders started Kentucky Fried Chicken in his late 60s, and he went through trials and obstacles and rejection for years before he was finally successful at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, if most of us were going through those kinds of trials, we probably would give up. But he was willing to keep going, to be uncomfortable, to face rejection, and to learn better how to create his business. I call this channel Next Phase Navigation. And next phase implies change. If there's no change, it's probably because you're stuck in a comfort zone. And I can understand that because I was stuck there for years. As I said, next week I'm going to talk about an exercise that helped me in a tremendous way to get out of that comfort zone and start living and growing and creating a life instead of just accepting what came along or staying safe in a place that wasn't fulfilling to me. If you feel that you're stuck in a comfort zone and you're not sure how to get out of it, or you're not even sure what to do, what you want, I was there. Reach out to me at the email address in the description below the video because that's what I do. I help people to create the next phase of life. That's my passion. That's part of my purpose. So thank you for watching. Make sure to tune in next week to find out how to start getting out of your own comfort zone. And in the meantime, here's some other videos for you to check out.